that's when God will give me these messages and have me to study in it. And it's about everyday life, being saved, and the things that we have to fight with, being saved, and things that we don't know how to talk about much. But I have taught her several times, but we had a very critical time that you have to follow instructions and you have to hear from God and you listen to the man of God. And God gonna talk to you more through your pastor more than he do to you direct. And the things that he talk to you direct is not gonna be concerning other people. It's gonna be you. He's gonna be mostly talking about you to you. Now, the one that got insight on the church is your pastor. God tell us things about you all. That's why he say, obey them to rule over you, for they watch for your soul. The person watching for your soul, God tell us things. That's how we continue to work with people. We can see the potential of greatness in there because God being showed us if you do his will, he can let us see what you're capable of doing. And if you don't do his will, we also know what can happen with that direction. So we constantly, as a pastor, we push you. We don't let you settle for living on a lower level. And it's one of the things that growing up in the church that was instilled in me, Philippians 4 and 6. One of y'all, you gonna read? Okay. Philippians 4 and 6. What it say?
Be careful for nothing, but in everything in prayer and by supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto God.
Now, when you look up the original definition for that word careful is anxious. And be anxious for nothing. You can want something so bad till you can ignore all the signs that God trying to give you to not go a direction or not make this decision or not do this thing. And it could be in your spirit so heavy. You can look, but you can't see. You're blind, and you won't listen to instructions. And you can even go into prayer, and the thing will take over in your prayers because you want it so bad. You're not even asking God, is it his will for you to go this direction or for you to do this or for you to feel this way? It's just done took over your spirit. So in your prayers, you're not concerned about your future with God when you allow something to take over your spirit till you ignore every sign. You ignore every instructions that is given to tell you not to do it that way, not to respond that way, not to go in that direction. And so I began to search out. I was saying, Lord, it got to be an example in the Bible somewhere, how a person wants something so bad until they just ignore everything. Um, Turn with me to 1 King 22, and I probably cut it off. You might have to go to the Bible. We're just going to go to 1 King 22. I got it in the notes, but I cut off a lot, and I felt I should let you read the whole process. Go to the Bible and then 1 King 22 and 4 and just begin to read. And here we have Jehoshaphat and the king of Israel and the things, how false prophets can come to a person and tell you what you want to hear. Or something could be in your spirit so heavy till people that are false come in your life and say what you want because they done connected to the spirit that you connected to. And then when a true man of God come along, or God use a person to tell you the truth, and then you get angry because you want to embrace the truth about what you want so bad. Some people messing their life up in decisions that they're making, getting married and all that, and then after they make the decision, then all of these things come. You know what? They tried to tell me. They tried to do this and tried to do this and I just ignored everything. 1 Kings 22:4. Read.
And he said unto Jehoshaphat, Wilt thou go with me to battle to Ramoth Gilead? And Jehoshaphat said to the king of Israel, I am as thou art, my people as thy people, my horses as thy horses. And Jehoshaphat said unto the king of Israel, Inquire, I pray thee, at the word of the Lord today. Then the king of Israel gathered the prophets.
Now Jehoshaphat telling him, look, we need to get instructions from God. Inquire, I pray thee at the word of the Lord today. And watch the king, 26th verse.
Then the king of Israel gathered the prophets together, about 400 men, and said unto them, Shall I go against Ramoth Gilead to battle, or shall I forbear? And they said, Go up, for the Lord shall deliver it into the hand of the king.
Now he done got 400 men to prophesy. And they said, Go up, for the Lord shall deliver it into thy hand of the king. Read.
And Jehoshaphat said, Is there not here a prophet of the Lord beside?
Now, that was the first sign. Jehoshaphat saying, okay, you done got all the 400 men? Now, is there a prophet of the Lord? Because Jehoshaphat feeling in his spirit, something ain't right. My spirit don't agree with these some 400 men. So he actually said, is there a prophet? It's something when you want something so bad, you'll change up a way to ignore everything. Now watch and see what happens. Read. Go back to 7th verse. What does it say?
And Jehoshaphat said, Is there not here a prophet of the Lord besides that we might inquire of him?
Now watch and see how the king responds. 8th verse.
And
very important.
And the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, There is yet one man, Micah, the son of Imlah, by whom we may inquire of the Lord, but I hate him.
Hold up. He said, there's one prophet around here. As many people despise their leader. You can sit in here and smile. There's a lot of folks. All these instructions that God given us, so precise, and you'll sit around and ignore, and you create your world. So the king said, yeah, I know one of God, but I hate him. Now he's going to tell you why he hated him. Read.
And the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, There is yet one man, Micah, the son of Imlah, by whom we may inquire of the Lord, but I hate him. For he doeth not prophesy good concerning me, but evil. And Jehoshaphat said, Let not the king say so.
So he's telling him straight out. He said, that man, every time he come to me, he telling me stuff that I don't want to hear. You'll be surprised the people that done push the people away to tell them the truth, and they got gathered around them false friends, false people around them who agree with their false spirit. A lot of people that did it in the church, they do it in decision making, they do it anywhere. They'll sit there and let the spirit tell them, and then hate the man of God. And they try to hide it. A lot of time, and I told one of the ministers, I said, I'm not going to let a person make me pay for their sin. Because I know if you would have asked me before you done that, then I would have told you not to do it. So since you didn't ask me and you went on here and did it, and now you want to come back to me, what should I do? You should have came to me before you even did it. But they didn't want to hear that. They gathered enough people around them to agree with their false decision. So the king said, I hate him. Yeah, he's from God, he's from the Lord, but I hate him because he don't say no good to me. You shouldn't be wanting people speaking good around you all the time. You need somebody to be around you. Tell me the truth, please.
Yes, sir.
If I ain't right, tell me the truth. Don't sit here and tell me I'm okay and I ain't okay. When something in your spirit so heavy to you ignore all, and then you done conjured up these spirits and you think you right. You'll sit there. You gotta be careful how you treat God people. You can't treat God people any kind of way. And there are people that done picked up something so against the church. Let's go down. So the Lord getting involved. Now, what verse we stopped at?
9.
8. Okay, let's go down to the 20th verse. Now the Lord finna get involved. 20th verse. 1 Kings 22 and 20. What is that?
And the Lord said, who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall from Gilead? And one said on this mountain, and another said on that mountain. And there came forth a spirit and stood before the Lord and said, I will persuade him.
Now here goes a spirit that came before God. Y'all be sitting here thinking God and the devil and all them mad at each other. They sit down the whole conversation. They said, when the sons of God came to present themselves to the Lord in Job, the first chapter, and Satan came also, God didn't look at Satan and say to him, hey, what you doing here? He said, what you coming for? Oh, I'm seeking whom I may devour. Walking to and fro. They don't sound like they mad at each other. The devil, no, he done whoop my behind, so I ain't finna argue with him. But whatever he tell me to do, that's what I'm finna do. Because I'm going to the lake of fire anyhow. You know. So it ain't like God and these spirits, they know that they respect God. So now God will turn around and tell them what to do. Why? Because he know, okay, you know, it's somebody down there want to connect with you anyhow. So they ignoring everything that I'm trying to send to them. They're ignoring what the man of God is saying to them. They're ignoring what I show them in dreams and visions. They're ignoring them what I put in their spirit. He says, so I'm going to do something. 21st verse, what is that? Read it again. 22, 21. Where you be going?
And there came forth the spirit, and stood before the Lord, and said, I will persuade him. And the Lord said unto him, wherewith? And he said, I will go forth, and I will be a lion spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And he said, thou shalt persuade him, and prevail also. Go forth and do so. Now therefore, behold, the Lord hath put a lion.
Now therefore, behold, the Lord have what did what?
And put a lion spirit in the mouth of all these thy prophets. And the Lord had spoken evil concerning thee.
Since you don't want to listen to my prophet, I go to the mother 400 over there you want to listen to, and I put a lion spirit, and I let them. Since you want to listen to them, you can't want something so bad till you ignore all the signs. You don't realize so many people done messed up their life because they ignored everything somebody. Matter of fact, they even got mad at somebody trying to tell. Some people have created a world where they won't allow people actually, they think they bad. People scared to say things to them. I don't want to live no life people scared to say stuff to me. Because you nasty spirit. God has created a lying spirit around them. 34th verse, 1 Kings 22. Let's jump on down here to the 34th verse. What is that?
And a certain man drew a bow at a venture, and smote the king of Israel between the joints of the harness. Wherefore he said unto the driver of his chariot, turn thine hand, and carry me out.
Now the prophets told him, go on down there and fight that war. You're going to win. You're going to win. The one from the Lord said, they ain't going to have no shepherd. He said, yeah, you go down there, they ain't going to have no, because the leader, he was the shepherd over there. He said, they ain't going to have no shepherd. He said, see that? That's why I want him to be prophesying to me. Because you heard what he just said? He said, the people ain't going to have no shepherd. So what did he tell him? You going to get killed. And the people going to be all right. He said, now the rest of the prophets telling him, go down there, you're going to defeat them. You're going to win. And then the prophet of the Lord said, you ain't going to, he said, you going down there. The people going to be fine and they ain't going to have no shepherd. Matter of fact, I think I might have did this one too soon too, so you can read that part. Let's go down here. Go to your Bibles, 1 Kings 22 and 29. Let's see. 1 Kings 22 and 29.
So the king of Israel and Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, went up to Ramoth Gilead. And the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat.
So you weren't saying none of them words when you were rapping. Ramoth Gilead. You saying all the hood stuff. That even though you can read, but that Bible make you feel like, man, I can't even read. So I thought I could read. I did all right in reading. You go to reading that Bible, sound like you're in first grade. Read that 29th verse.
So the king of Israel and Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, went up to Ramoth Gilead. And the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, I will disguise myself and enter into battle. But put thou on thy robes. And the king of Israel disguised himself and went into the battle.
Now the king of Israel going into battle, he disguised himself so they won't be able to recognize who he is. Read.
But the king of Syria commanded his 32 captains that had ruled over his chariots, saying, fight neither with small nor great, save only with the king of Israel.
Now, the king of Syria was sent here and told his captains, don't you fight nobody else, great or small. Just go and find that king. Now, the prophet from the Lord had told him, they ain't going to have no shepherd. Y'all going on out to the war. Y'all going to be all right. Y'all ain't going to have no shepherd. You let them know. Ain't none of y'all, ain't nothing going to happen to none of y'all, but you just ain't going to have no shepherd. That king, he finna go. See, a king was like a pastor, and so he was letting them know. And so now, the king of Syria is who they fighting. He commanded all the 32 of his captains, he rule over terror, saying, fight neither with small nor great, save only with the king of Israel. That's the only one you're looking for. 32nd verse, what it say?
And it came to pass, when the captains of the chariots saw Jehoshaphat, that they said, surely is the king of Israel. And they turned aside to fight against him. And Jehoshaphat cried out.
Now here go the prophet Jehoshaphat. Say, hey, hold on, wait a minute now. This is me. I ain't none of him. Come on now. I'm over here in the sky. Let me show you who I am. Keep on reading. What it say?
And it came to pass, when the captains of the chariots perceived that it was not the king of Israel, that they turned back from pursuing him.
I'm the prophet now. I already told the king, he should have listened to that one from the Lord. I ain't finna sit here. Let me tell you, they got him over there in the sky like he the king. Hey, look, hey, it's me. I ain't studying this road. That ain't nothing me. Keep on reading. What it say?
And the third man drew a bow at a venture, and smote the king of Israel between the joints of the harness. Wherefore he said unto the driver of his chariot, turn down the hand, and carry me out of the host, for I am wounded.
So now the king done got wounded. Now watch and see what happened.
And the battle increased that day. And the king was stayed up in his chariot against the Syrians, and died at even.
And he died at even. Read.
And the blood ran out of the wound into the midst of the chariot. And there went a proclamation throughout the host about the going down of the sun, saying, every man to his city, and every man to his own country. So the king died and was brought to Samaria, and they buried the king in Samaria. It's
something when you want to ignore all the advice that God sends and you determine to do what you want to do. That's how something will overtake your spirit. But you can fight it when something's so strong in your spirit. You should be wanting, Lord, please tell me the truth. Please tell me the truth, Lord. I did that many days. That's how I end up in Church of God the Bible with. I also know that's why a lot of them brothers can't come. Because the truth can come, but it's in their spirit. So strong. This is where I'm supposed to be. This is where I started at. This is where, don't you remember back then, 1980s and 1990s and so forth? It's in your spirit so till you can ignore the truth when it comes. Psalm 34:4. You got to fight them spirits. What is it? It's in your email. I'm back in the email now. Lisa, you find it in the email? You come along with me? All right. Psalm 34:4. What does it say?
I sought the Lord, and he heard me, and delivered me from all my...
You're going to have to
fears.
pray in everything. You need to be praying and asking God, not my will be done, that your will be done. You don't know how many days I go to God and I say, don't let me have my way. You can interfere in my life. If I'm thinking the wrong way or going in the wrong direction, you interfere. Interfere. Don't be worried about my feelings. I done said this many times in prayer. I don't care nothing about being hurt. I just don't want to go the wrong direction. It's something when you go in the wrong direction thinking you're right. And by the time you find out, now he done disguised himself. The king of Israel done disguised himself. He done did all this stuff. And he don't even know his enemy done been assigned. Don't you bother with nobody but find the king. I don't care how many men they got out there. You ain't going to fight none of them. Find out one person. And they went and they fought him. And he ignored the man of God who was trying to tell him, oh, they ain't going to have no shelter. In other words, all y'all going to be fine. Y'all going on out there, going to walk, but you ain't going to have no shelter. He ain't going to be with you. They said, that's why I hate him. I hate him. Because he always got something. It's not good news for me. You should want the truth. It can help you out in a whole lot of ways. Psalms 142:2. What does it say?
I poured out my complaint before him. I showed before him my trouble.
You got to give God your troubles. You can't want something. People, they want it so bad. They ignore everybody. Now, God can speak through your pastor. That should be where you listen. But if you the type of person that ain't going to listen, he'll speak through prophetic word. He'll speak through, somebody can just walk up to you and say things. Well, you'll be surprised that the people they done got that lying spirit on. Well, who you think who you talking to? And then you get to the place where the church and people around you, people come to me and tell me things that God told them about somebody else. And I said, no, you can't tell them. You got to pray for them. I said, I already know their spirit. They ain't going to receive nothing from you. Why? Because they got a foul spirit. They don't care nothing about what God said. And you go, the Lord told me to tell you such and such a thing. And I tell the saints, I said, before you go to call yourself prophetizing somebody, you better come and talk to me. Because there's some of them people out there hurt your feelings. Amen. When the Lord told me to tell you, he said, well, who you think you is? They done created a lying spirit around them. And that's where they live. If they don't listen to their pastor, what makes you think they're going to listen to you? No, you're right. Amen. All these instructions that have been given us, from apostle, from us, and so forth, and then people sit there and ignore it. They just ignore it. They sit there and live their life like none of this stuff don't apply to them. Now, to make mistakes, that stuff is for us. You can't go to your family repeating what the apostle say, what I say, and so no people ain't finna receive that stuff. Amen. All you're gonna do is make them mad. Yes. Matter of fact, but why? Because they already done embrace a lying spirit. That's why they can't see this. You got apostolic people that can't stand the apostolic doctrine. And when I say apostolic doctrine, that's apostolic instructions, that apostolic power. The doctrine, they got that. But instructions, they ain't finna follow no instructions. And you mess up trying to take meat from the master's table and give it to a dog. That's what you do. They finna get more angry with you. They're gonna try to make act you, gonna think you crazy. So y'all down in that church, y'all drinking out of one cup for communion. You know, man, y'all, something wrong with y'all. Y'all gone off. You know, they're storing up water and canned goods and all that stuff. Man, it's so precise. The teaching that's coming now, you can literally see it applied to what's going on today in the world. The only way that a person can receive that is a lying spirit on them. And then when you don't want to listen to your pastor, it's a lying spirit. That's why I tell a person, they sit here, I'm telling somebody yesterday, I said, you sit here and you just get mad. That's all you do. And I told you the situation, I told you about suffering with Christ, but a person that refuses to suffer with Christ, they actually think they're better than us. And they don't know it. Because they're saying, everything come at me is for me. God ain't got nothing to do with you rolling your eyes at me. God ain't got nothing, they don't like me. And then all our suffering, the Lord said they hated me before they hated you. So whatever testing and trial come to you, since you seeking God, then you point them back to Him. Lord, I'll suffer with you. I suffer. But when a person sit there, they take everything personal. Man, you don't put yourself above God. You around here talking about, well, why they messing with me? Why they doing this here? Why this here? Why? Because you trying to get closer to God. Tell somebody you trying to get closer to God. That's where them tests is there. You know, I look at, friend, tell them you can receive this truth. Because you're seeking God. You got to receive this in truth. And that's why I deal with the Bible. Let's look at Luke 12 right quick. And the 17th verse, what it says.
He thought within himself, saying, what should I do? Because I have no room where to bestow my fruits. And he said, this will I do. I will pull down my barns and build greater, and there will I bestow all my fruits and my goods. And I will say to my soul, soul, thou hast much goods laid up for many years. Take thine ease, eat, drink, and be merry. But God said unto him, thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee. Then whose shall those things be which thou hast provided? So is he that layeth up treasure for himself, and is not rich toward God.
So he's sitting here saying, he said, now, you finna die tonight. He said, so all that stuff you done stole up, who you storing it for? Because your soul finna leave you tonight. It's finna go. So all that stuff you done got, who you got it up for? But the instructions we got, you better store up something. You better store up something because of the signs of the times. Now, at this time, God didn't tell them to do that. He was telling them, get your soul right now. Get your soul right with God before it's too late. But he's sitting there gathering everything together. Let's go down to Luke 14 and the 18th verse. What it say?
And they all with one consent began to make excuse. The first said unto him, I have bought a piece of ground, and I must needs go and see it. I pray thee have me excused. And another said, I have bought 5 yoke of oxen, and I go to prove them. I pray thee have me excused. And another said, I have married a wife, and therefore I cannot come. So that servant came and showed his lord these things. Then the master of the house, being angry, said to his servant, go out quickly into the streets and lanes of the city, and bring hither the poor, and the maimed, and the halt, and the blind.
Make sure that whatever you desire is in the will of God, and make sure that if it's overtaking you and it's not in the will of God, you get it out your spirit. Don't hold on to something that all the signs are telling you to get away from it. That ain't for you. That ain't the direction you need to go. Let's go down to 2 Corinthians 11 chapter, my last verse, we actually get relieved. That's what's happening with Sister Tanya right now. Sister Tanya is something else, you know. But friend Cheddar, they actually helping each other. She helping friend Cheddar, but it's preoccupying Sister Tanya mind and time, where she focused on helping friend Cheddar. So helping other people can get your mind off of your own stuff. That's the way we're supposed to live in the kingdom. And because both of them over there speaking in tongues now. When friend Cheddar go to speaking in tongues, Sister Tanya, well, I ain't heard Sister Tanya speaking in tongues like that in a long time. Well, it look like she came to Mr. Wayne, you ought to just be happy. You know. I mean, here it is. Why? Instead of fussing at Minister Wayne, she would have, come on, friend Cheddar, let's go. Come on here. You know. And so let's go to 2 Corinthians 11 and 28. It'll consume you if you go and help somebody. Read.
Beside those things that are without, that which cometh upon me daily, the care of all the churches.
The care of the churches will come upon you daily. If you helping somebody, and you could be going, that thing can get out your spirit because you done made up your mind, I'm finna help somebody. If you just sitting there stagnated, your mind on what you want, how you think it ought to be, and just sitting there just getting mad. Y'all love the Lord? So make sure that's what's in your spirit is of God. Because if it's not, it'll take over and you start ignoring all the signs that God trying to show you to get your soul right. Go this direction. Y'all love the Lord?